Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of First and Last. My name is Josh, and with me, all the way on the other side of the room, I've got Joe.
Hey, man.
And Jimmy.
Yeah.
Are you going to pan the vocals so that the listeners get a feel of what's going on?
Would I be
feel of the room?
Would I be middle or right? You guys are like far left to me.
Yeah, both of us far left,
Me middle.
far right.
I feel like I'm
far right. Nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
You really do want me, you've said this before, you really do want me to make like an episode where I pan everybody or something.
Yeah, I think it'd be an interesting idea for podcasts.
I almost always listen to this back in headphones or any podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I would appreciate some more panning from podcasts. It's all stereo.
Yeah.
It's all mono, I mean.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
What if you panned like all of our serious statements to the left,
Oh,
and
God.
then anytime we like laugh or make jokes to the right?
Lulz to the right.
Oh, I hear Joe in my right ear. That was an attempt at a joke.
I wonder what that would
Yeah.
do to your psyche if you'd pick up on that.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Like we Pavlov you by which ear you're listening in.
like what would that do to your subconscious?
So anytime someone's like speaking to the right of you in real life, you just don't take them seriously anymore.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, shut up. You're an idiot. Why? Because you're on the right side of me. I can't take you seriously. Would you please move to my left? That
Yeah,
would.
you hold things just with a little bit different weight if it's coming from the left.
That'd be very weird. That'd be very weird. Well, Joe, how does this podcast work for the uninitiated?
We take a TV show, usually a show we haven't seen, and watch only the first and only the last episode, and nothing in between.
Yeah.
All that middle stuff is garbage.
Yeah,
Whoever said the journey is its own reward is a dummy.
we're not here for that journey.
We don't have time for journeys. It's 2019.
We're all about Foreigner.
Oh,
Just
cold as ice.
hair metal band jokes. It's fine.
I'll put that in the right. That was in the right
Willing,
ear.
willing to sacrifice.
The listeners will note that that was a right ear comment. So it was funny.
Hot-blooded.
Oh man.
Check it and see.
Jimmy singing left ear. Serious.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
So this comes out on October 2nd, which is the first episode of October. Therefore, spooky episode.
Oktoberfest. Oh, yeah. I mean, spooky.
It's spooky month.
Spunth.
So I picked we're easing into it because I'm pretty confident that this is not a scary show.
There's no way.
But this show
Okay.
has
But it's
the
genre.
word zombie in the title
Cool.
with an I in front of it.
So hopefully brains eating.
We're doing iZombie today for spooky month.
iZombie.
iCarly.
I mean, I guess, are we?
It's a sequel to iCarly. She's dead now.
Dear Lord.
I assume that in the series of iCarly, in the series finale, she dies.
She dies.
And then this is the follow-up.
Yeah, they had to. There was more money to be made, so they made another show where now she's undead.
Every show should reboot that way. If you're going to be a part of this reboot culture, at least be a part of the zombie reboot culture.
Yeah.
If the main
Veronica
character,
Mars.
if the main character didn't die at the end of the last episode of the original series, kill them immediately and then resurrect them as a zombie.
We're saying Roseanne would have actually worked
If she was a zombie.
she had come back as a zombie.
It explains so much.
You can't take what she says seriously if she's undead.
She's undead.
She can't vote.
I'm pretty confident you just shouldn't take what Roseanne says seriously.
She
Also
feeds
true.
on brains.
She's a working mom. She eats brains.
So this is a CW show.
I believe that is true.
It's created by Rob
Pretty sure.
Thomas, the creator of Veronica Mars.
And Matchbox
Rob
20.
Zombie Thomas.
And Veronica Mars is a show where like a teen girl solves mysteries or something. So is this just like a show where
Sure.
like a zombie solves mysteries?
Zombie Nancy Drew.
So the main character is named Olivia Liv Moore.
Live more.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Is she a zombie?
Oh no, she's gotta be.
Oh man.
So what I'm
If she's not, I'm
so
confused
what
already.
I think and I'm pretty confident of is that this main character, she's a zombie, but it's not like your typical like George Romero Day of the Dead type zombies. Like
She
I'm
runs
pretty
fast.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty. Yeah, it's 28 days later type. I think she can like talk and like be a normal person.
It seems like
except
Okay.
she eats.
she's like
brains.
a half zombie.
So kind of like more like a vampire, but just eats brains
Yeah.
instead of blood.
That's what I've gathered from just seeing like the ads for this show when it was on is she's like pretty fully conscious, you know.
I also see her in like a lab coat a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has a job.
Like she's
a working.
Maybe she's a Dexter.
She's
maybe
a working
she's a
stiff.
maybe
Get
she's
it?
a
'Cause
blood
she's
spatter
undead.
analysis.
Because she knows what it's like to be dead,
Or just because then when the people die, then she gets. I bet she works in some sort of morgue or maybe a police thing or a laboratory where they get dead people.
Yeah.
So then she has access to brains to eat.
Yeah, then she has to like
Sure.
curb her impulses to just like eat the brains right away.
Because imagine if you were like some sort of talking
Do
zombie.
the job, then you can eat the brains.
You can't just go eating people's brains still. You'd probably get caught. And I'm sure someone would stab
It's
you
like
in the
if
face.
you're a food critic, but you're also just really hungry. You need to stop.
Yeah, maybe
yourself.
she pre-eats before she shows up at a crime scene.
I don't know if this is anything to do with the police, but I bet since I've seen Lab Coat and it seems like she can talk, that she's some sort of laboratory scientist or technician that deals with dead people and therefore has access to the brains.
Yeah,
And
there
that's
has to be
how-
something special about her.
But why she's a regular person
I
zombie?
feel like I feel like this thing that's special is that there are zombies
Yeah,
pretty
that
special.
are dumb and normal what you'd think of.
Oh, you think so? Like maybe she's
I
a
think
smart
in
zombie?
this universe she's just there's something special about her that she's also like conscious of her actions. But I don't have a reason to believe that, but that's my thought.
I mean, we don't know anything about this show yet. So, that would be fun though if there was like regular zombies, and then I was like, oh wait, you're normal.
Like maybe there are some zombies that for whatever reason somehow like their DNA or something when they get bit, or maybe you're like half bit. You know, if someone gets the flu and another person gets the flu and their immune system is worse, so it's worse for them. You know, there's no reason why every zombie is just the same, you know, zombie.
yeah.
Could be levels of zombie.
I guess I'm trying to figure out like what about her zombiness makes her good at being a blood splatter analysis person. Or
We don't
what
know
if
that's what she
with-
does.
Maybe
What if
that's what
does
she
with the
did
cops?
when she was alive.
You're hung up on this fictitious job we made up for her.
Yeah,
Jeff.
but like there's got to be something. Like Dexter's good
Yeah.
at that blood splatter stuff because he's a murderer, right?
Yeah.
And
Because
like
it's
he's
because it's his
OCD.
passion.
yeah. So there's got to be something that wires into like her being a zombie and that helping at her job.
Well, I
She's fascinated by brains.
once again I assume
She can't be killed.
I kind of assume
She's already dead.
she becomes a zombie at the very beginning of the episode. She's like walking around. She gets killed somehow. Like she's an alive regular person at the beginning of this episode, and then gets killed, but not in a way that would maim her because she has to be a regular looking person for the rest of the time. So like she doesn't get like shotgunned or something.
Yeah.
You know.
To the face.
So she probably has like a heart attack.
How many seasons is this?
5 seasons, 71
Really?
episodes.
You think over 5 years and 71 episodes she like slowly rots?
You
Pieces
would
of her
think,
flesh
right?
just falling away.
if anything, they make her get paler, and that's probably it.
Just a little bit more makeup.
I bet by the end she like looks like a normal person again.
What do we guys think? Is she a
Ran a
zombie when
budge.
this show starts, or does she turn into a zombie during the first episode?
I think she turns into a zombie.
I do too.
Yeah, I like that too, but I think it's going to be like it all happens in like a cold open. Like it's a quick turn.
I could see her first shot being a zombie, like eating a brain, and
Yeah.
then it goes
and then they
like,
back up.
I
Record-
bet you're
yeah,
wondering
record
why I'm
scratch.
eating brains, like that kind of thing.
Oh god.
Yep, that's me.
Oh my god, that's me.
It's called iCarly. Like that's gonna happen.
Olivia Moore, or my friends call me Liv. Like,
Like all her friends get hit by a bus, and then they're like, "Oh no, that actually didn't happen." It's gonna be Mean Girls, but with zombies. Is what this.
I mean, Mean Girls is a fantastic movie, so if that's it, I'm all into this show. So don't
Fair.
don't pull on my heartstrings, Jimmy.
Fair.
I read that the Rob Thomas guy was pitching a zombie show to AMC, but then they picked up The Walking Dead, And
Dang.
then
They made the correct choice.
yeah. So then he went and made this show for the CW or wherever.
Hey, I mean, I'm always in for CW shows.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, they're sick of it already. I'm sorry, listeners, but one of the greatest shows in the entire world ever made is on the CW. Supernatural.
They got
I mean, it
zombies
has
in there.
been going
That was
forever. There's
super,
probably a zombie.
that
or
was
two.
super loud in everyone's left ear because that was dead serious.
Very serious.
Gross.
Dead serious.
I'm sure it's great.
We got any other thoughts and what may happen? The only other thing I know about this show is that there's I think his name is Rahul Kohli.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm saying his name right. He's in this show, and the only reason I know
that?
who he is because I like Funhouse. For people that know what that is, it's a YouTube part of the Rooster Teeth family,
Okay.
and he's like he's been on a lot of their videos and seems like a really cool dude. So I assume I will just like his character because I think I like him as a human.
I have a question about zombie physiology or pathology.
Okay,
more
I have
specifically.
the answer for sure.
How do you become a zombie? Is it that you get bit by a zombie?
Most
Yeah, it's basically just rabies for humans.
Yeah, well, most. I mean, obviously, it depends on what the lore is.
Uh-huh.
But like, take Walking Dead for instance. Everybody that dies becomes a zombie.
Everybody that dies.
You don't have to become. You don't have to be bit by one to become one.
Okay.
The zombie bite,
Right, which is a spoiler, by the way.
the zombie bite, like
You don't know that until like season 2 or something.
Well, they're on season 9, so I think we're fine.
just saying.
Like the bite in like Walking Dead just like gives you a fever and like kills you.
Okay. Yeah.
If you survive, like if you just get bit and get away, unless
Uh-huh.
they like rip
You
you
get like
out.
a really bad fever, and then basically you die
Yeah.
within a day or two, and then you come back as a zombie. Yeah.
I think like Day of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead. I think like the lore in that is like hell has no more room,
yeah.
Huh.
and then the dead just come back to life.
Yeah.
So people just stopped at the door, and so no matter what, you die, you come back as a zombie.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I think that might be it too. So who knows? Who
Which
knows?
is a
what-
horrifying
yeah.
thought.
I
No
don't.
more room.
I don't really think they've ever really. Besides,
We're just
I mean,
all so shitty.
I don't think they've ever really talked about. They don't. It's one of those things in a weird in zombie movies and stuff is they don't usually say like what happened, how did it happen. You
Mhm.
know, it's just like
Yeah, it's
shit.
never fully explained.
They're zombies
yeah.
now. Because like in 28 Days Later they did, but technically they're not zombies. They're like super aggressive people.
Yeah.
Like they're not because they all can starve and die.
Yeah. They're,
Interesting.
Watch
Yeah.
28
I've heard-
weeks later and you'll find that out.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I'd ever watched that one.
I don't think I've seen either.
I've
What
seen,
about the
I've seen both. Joe, you
Jovovich?
should watch it for Spoopy month.
I've seen what's that? Sandra Bullock movie is that 28 Days?
Speed 2 Cruise Control.
Yikes. Miscongeniality. Zombies edition.
Yeah, which one are you talking about?
I think this is a
There's
Sandra Bullock
she's
movie called
not-
28 Days.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not that one.
It's like just like the month leading up to her marriage or something to Keanu Reeves or some bullshit.
Yeah, probably. So do you think Liv like bites anyone and makes anyone else a zombie, or
Not in this first episode.
Hmm.
No.
I think she falls in love.
I think she dies and somehow in a glorious like thing of happenstance falls upon like 2 or 3 friends that are like, I think we know what's happening to you and we're here to help.
I don't think that. I think she's a loner, but she falls in love with a human, and it can't ever be. Yank yank.
I'm
The
in
end.
that. I'm also.
You're just describing Twilight but with zombies.
Yeah,
She also glitters in the sunlight.
that's what I assume this is.
Okay.
It's CW, so there's gotta be some love drama that's not really necessary, but also like totally ropes you in at the same time. I'm picturing Smallville but with zombies.
Man, I'm getting more and more pumped. We should just get into this episode. I think this is going to be a good show. First episode's called Pilot because, they suck a little bit. But let's get into it. We'll see you after the pilot episode of iZombie.
I think Tom Welling is going to be in this episode.
And we're back from
And we back.
the pilot of iZombie.
No, you zombie.
Oh, we zombie.
Yeah.
Joe, you loved it, right?
It was okay.
I'm interested in this show.
It was what I expected, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
In that it was a procedural show but with a zombie. And for that it was, pretty good. It was definitely didn't take itself too seriously. A lot of jokes about just the entire premise itself, and like it seems like it'd be fun.
It's got a little bit of is it Joss Whedon? A little bit of like, it's got CSI, it's got sci-fi. It's crossing some genres.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
Really groundbreaking.
Plus
really groundbreaking.
love, plus love interests. It's very CW, that is for sure.
Yeah, it's very like tongue-in-cheek in a lot of things it does.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely knows what it is.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And what it is a fun thing. It's, a zombie show. I mean, at this point in 2008 or 2009 or something?
2015 is when the show was made.
Holy damn.
2015?
2015 to 2019 is when
It
the
like
show.
just
Holy crap.
ended.
It ended. Yeah, it ended in August.
Oh, man.
You thought it was a. So now, how do you feel about it?
Give it like a C minus.
Well, now I kind of feel like they'd like made this like as like kind of a joke. Like it's already, there's only like the zombie craze is already like gone and past by 2015.
Right.
That they're just like, yo, what about one more zombie show though?
Right. Jimmy, you got a write up?
Yeah. Oh shoot.
Yeah, I
that's
know
a
you-
thing that
telling
I
you.
do. I was thinking. So like this guy, you're saying this guy was pitching this show to AMC or a zombie show.
Yeah, I don't think it was this because this is based on a comic.
Yep. Called
Yeah.
iZombie.
Apparently.
Yeah.
I looked that up once we saw like the comic
A lot
cells,
of little
the
comic
panes.
cells. Yeah.
And I was like, is this a comic too? And it was based on a comic called iZombie, and I think it ran 2010 to 2012. So
Okay.
it was a
Is it from
comic
like
ran.
Image Comics or something?
Vigorous Victory.
Victory
Victory
Records?
sounds right.
Uh,
Victory Records sounds
I
right.
forgot what it was.
Taking Back Sunday wrote this comic book.
Yeah, it was that, and it was the main character, and that was named like Gwen or something like that. So
Yeah.
like none of the characters in the show
Gwen is a classic
are
zombie.
are part of the main cast in the comic book.
Okay.
But like her needing to eat brains and her like getting the memories and the description of the comic book and the abilities of the people's brain she eats is part of the comic book.
Yeah, explain to me the mythology of this show. So how does the pathology of zombies work in this?
I don't know, because it seems like from what
I guess we're not
Let's
actually told how she becomes a zombie, but
let's Jimmy,
Yeah.
do you have the write up?
Yeah,
Let's
okay.
Jimmy
I'll
write the write up, and then I'll try to talk about what I
okay.
think happens.
okay.
Okay, Olivia Liv Moore.
Live more.
Liv Moore. Liv Tyler Moore. She's going to make it after all. Was a rosy-cheeked, disciplined, overachieving medical resident who had her life path completely mapped out until the night she attended a party that unexpectedly turned into a zombie feeding frenzy. Now, as one of the newly undead, Liv has devised a clever way to resist her baser urges to devour fresh human brains. She's taken a job in the Seattle coroner's office. In this appropriately dead-end job, Liv
Those
can
laughs
secret-
written into the description.
Right here.
Liv nice. Liv can secretly snack on the brains of the many Jane and John Doe corpses that make a final stop in the morgue.
Nom nom nom.
She can nom on all the fresh brains, but she gets the memories of the fresh brains
Yeah.
to learn how they, and then she can solve those crimes,
So what I think,
which
Joe,
seems like cheating.
is what happened is when she was at that party, that drug Utopia was going around. I think everybody that took Utopia became a zombie.
Became a zombie
Okay.
without even
Because
like, dying.
it seemed that the quote unquote zombie outbreak was contained specifically to that party on that boat.
Right.
And maybe because she got scratched by the zombie guy.
Yeah, 'cause she had
who
visible
had it.
scratch on her arm.
Yeah. So that somehow transferred over the Utopia drug to her, but not like a high enough dose for her to become
A
crazy
full-on-
zombie.
Yeah.
To be some sort of like
Crombie.
hybrid where she can like manage it.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
So that's what I assume. So the cause of the zombie virus
Yeah.
is that drug.
But the other thing that's kind of unique here and that helps with her crime solving career is that when she eats brains, she like takes in that person's memories
Yeah.
and like some of their tendencies too. Like she ate the brains of a girl who like shoplifted and was a kleptomaniac, and she like wanted to steal things.
But she didn't want to strip.
Oh,
or
that's
like
what that was about.
she didn't want to be a hooker though, right? Like,
Yeah.
She
that's-
didn't want to bang normal dudes,
Well,
but
but
that's
she was-
probably not what hookers actually just
Yeah,
have a
that's
tendency
not one of their
towards.
urges.
Oh, okay.
That's
Okay.
just her job. She just goes to work there. Do you have
If
urges to do accounting shit?
Yeah, if somebody ate your brains, would they want to become a comptroller? Sorry that I said that.
None of us know what you do.
Oh.
What are you doing?
I'm telling you to
It's
wiggle
like
your.
Chandler Bing in Friends. And none of them know what his job is.
He's a Chandler Bong.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, fair enough. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
Anyhow.
There was that one
that,
point.
that right ear did not land.
Aw.
So she starts to do things like she's like trying to steal some stuff from people because she has the kleptomaniac tendencies of the girl whose brains she ate. She can also speak Romanian.
That's pretty dope. Like she learned another
That is
language.
Fun.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna eat brains, eat them of people who speak different dialects than
Yeah.
you.
The other
Just in case.
there was a part where she was like watching like exercise videos. Was that? I didn't really understand that moment. Was that a thing that she was getting from the
Yeah.
brains that she ate?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Why does
You know,
she?
you gotta stay in good shape. You gotta be fit if you're gonna sell your body.
Well, yeah.
That's probably not true.
Yeah, I don't
People buying sex, they're into whatever.
Yeah, they're just buying dignity. They're not buying bodies.
I mean, is she capable of getting like
Are they
jacked
buying
now?
dignity?
I don't know.
I think the dignity's long gone. If you're at that point, there's no dignity.
Yeah, but so because she can see the memories of the people she eats, that's like the clear reason why this is now like a buddy cop detective procedural show.
Yeah, that's her super skill that makes her valuable to the police department.
Yeah. In particular, the policeman Clive Babineau.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really gaining a lot from this. He's the only one who's really gaining.
Because she could literally see the memories of someone like as they're dying.
Yeah.
This dude, he's gonna just go around solving all these crazy crimes that no one would have ever solved.
Yeah.
Because he's got this zombie lady.
Like the day after this pilot, they should just like show up at her house with just like a bunch of like different plates and bowls and tubs of brains.
Yeah, here are
Just like-
brains of Jane and John Doe's.
Just
We're going to
eat.
solve all these cold cases. We're going to start a true crime podcast and become rich.
Yeah, it's curious because
Which I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that. I think we should change our format.
just go first. True crime now.
That's what's in.
It's weird because right away I don't think she like knew who she's like. Oh, I get the memories of them, but it's like if they're a Jane Doe, like she doesn't go like, oh, I'm Tati. I know Tatiana's memories. Like I wonder if she can like. She doesn't seem like she knew who it was until like kind of getting a little bit of outside information maybe. So there's still some figuring out because she got a memory of like that news guy like murdering her, but it wasn't. They weren't murdering. It was like some weird sex thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So she doesn't get the whole picture.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is why hilarity ensues.
Yeah, she needs to get a little bit more in depth to have some stuff jogged, some memories jogged.
Yeah.
She needs to get a little bit closer to the subject.
Mm-hmm.
So she also needs Clive Babineau.
Yep.
To to kind of get into those situations to be able to actually solve the crime as well.
So she works with Clive Babineau, who's like the detective, and then what's the other guy's name?
Ravi.
Ravi,
yeah.
who is just like the doctor in the morgue.
Yeah, he's like
He's her boss, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's the only one that knows she's a zombie.
And he totally knew.
Mm-hmm.
And found her eating brains.
And he's totally into it. He's like, this is awesome.
Yeah,
and
he's very intrigued.
And then he was like trying to test her blood.
He's the like Chloe, right? This is Smallville.
We can't reference
her
Chloe
family
anymore.
doesn't know. Oh, that's right. It's not cool.
She did bad things in
Yeah,
real
what
life.
did she do? She like sex smuggled?
trafficking.
That's how? Why?
Cult.
Anyway.
Cult.
Oh, that's right. There was a cult involved.
Don't do cults, kids.
Who? I don't know. What is this?
Okay, so in Smallville,
How do I get into this cult?
this whole show, iZombie is just Smallville. His family doesn't know that he has powers, but he's got a best friend, a close bud, who finds out that he has powers.
Oh.
His family
And only
definitely
Chloe knows.
He has
But then in real life, she became part of a cult that sex smuggled. So
the sex smuggling cult's real life, not in Smallville.
not in Smallville, as far as we know.
Someone in Smallville was smuggling sex?
Yeah, with her
man.
for her cult leader.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Google it.
I love cults.
And then tweet at us.
Let's do a cult show next week.
Well, it is October, so it is spooky month.
Yeah.
Cults are spooky.
Ugh. Almost too much.
Yeah, so obviously that thing, and then like Robbie's trying to like test her blood
Study
to like
her,
study her and try to like see if he can come up with a cure, see how this works or something. He just is a very like, I'm excited about everything. All of this is very fun to me. Like no matter what. I think like she'll be like, they shot at me, and he's like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
This is fun.
Yeah, there's a part towards the end where she gets shot, but she's fine because she's a zombie.
Yeah.
You gotta get her with a headshot to kill her, or what?
Yeah, you would assume that's how you kill. That's how you kill normal zombies.
Yeah.
Take the head.
I don't know of any zombie lore in anything that's like chop their big toe off or something. You know, like it's always the head. It's always the brain. Gotta
Like,
kill the brain.
Love them, and then they
garlic.
disintegrate.
Oh, and then that's the thing is she's got to
show them unconditional love.
She's got to eat brains. She made this comment.
They're people almost too.
She made this comment. She's got to eat brains on a regular basis at least, because if she doesn't, she gets like angrier and like kind of loses herself.
She's afraid she'll become a dumb zombie.
So, but then right at the end when she helped catch the bad cop guy, she like got all super red-eyed and like
she's about to
she
tear
literally
open
said
those brains.
all 28 days later zombie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Until Clive ran up and then she turned it off.
yeah, which was, I was like, oh, she ain't gonna. I figured he was gonna find out right at the end of this episode.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I mean, when he showed up, I forgot that he didn't know that she was a zombie.
No, because he thinks she's psychic.
Yeah.
I mean,
she just has intuition.
he really like bought that real fast.
Yeah.
I mean, she is right on everything, you know, kind of
the
thing.
fact that Weatherman like immediately saw the dead girl's picture and was like, "Ugh." he was fully in from that moment on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a bigger suspension of disbelief with like her family, where her family and everyone that knows her used to know her as this like tanned brunette girl who was very type A, and then now she is like very pale, very dark eyeliner, like white hair.
Yeah.
loner.
And doesn't want to do much anymore.
Yeah, they're just afraid that she's like distancing herself.
Yeah.
Not that she has a horrible zombie disease. Also, so a big part of this, like for this whole show to continue, is that Ravi says like, oh yeah, like we can cure you.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, well then we have a show.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, this wouldn't be very fun for very long.
I mean, they'd have a procedural for a while.
Yeah.
You know, but at least they have an end goal for her,
Which is
getting cured.
well, becoming cured so that she can get back together with her ex-fiance.
Becoming brunette for Major.
Well, she does want to, but she did go over to his house right away after he was like, I'm working on a cure, even though he said it might be years, which is probably, the end of this show.
Yeah.
Don't skip
who
ahead
knows?
of predicts.
But she went over to his place and he was playing a zombie killing game with
Yeah.
some other
With
girl.
another lady.
He's like a very anti-zombie bigot.
How could you, Major?
He doesn't know her secret.
Play a game where you kill Nazis like normal people.
At least zombie Nazis.
Yeah. If people are if there's two things that you kill in video games that people really shouldn't be mad about, that's killing zombies and killing Nazis. Those are two things that you pretty much.
Unless you're one of those two things.
Yeah, and
Then it's very offensive.
and if you are, you should just stop being those two things.
So I watched a high school today put a flag up in a gym on a PowerPoint, like on a screen, to try to make all the kids
I'm not following this either.
You put a flag
they put a picture of the American flag
Okay.
on a screen
like
in a
through
gym.
a projector.
Through
Oh,
a
okay.
projector.
Okay, yeah.
There was no flag in the gym. There's no flagpole. They put a picture of the American flag up and told the kids it was time to say the pledge of allegiance. And literally 3/4 of the entire high school, hundreds and hundreds of kids, just turned to their neighbors and started talking very loudly, so you could not hear the handful of very conservative kids
It's just like, we
put
have to
their
do
hands
this for
on their hearts.
America.
Was this in a public high school?
It was in a public high school.
Are they allowed to tell you to do that now? I think.
Yeah,
they
The Pledge of Allegiance? Yeah, we used to do the Pledge of Allegiance.
we
Yeah.
used to, but I
They-
didn't know they could do that anymore. I thought they
very
stopped.
few high
It's
schools
America.
still do it, but this high school didn't do it for a long time, and then they got sued by some very wealthy families,
Oh my
and now
gosh.
they have to do it at every event.
But how else do we know that you're not a communist if you don't do the pledge every morning?
Well, if that's the case, most of these kids are really into red and hammers and sickles.
Oh,
it was
man.
hilarious. You could not hear, and then the little choir started to sing the Star Spangled Banner, and you couldn't hear it because everyone was just nope,
Well, they
not
should've-
doing this.
Should have gone with God Bless the USA. That song slaps.
That's true.
What does that have to do with zombies?
I
Just kidding.
don't remember.
I don't either.
We would probably all
There
be
was
zombies
there was a reason
in the
for it.
U.S.
There's a reason for it.
Zombies will for sure start in the U.S. That's what
Um,
I've learned from watching TV.
Anything else you guys pulled on this episode?
I had some questions earlier on, but I think they've been resolved. Mostly around how do we there was a zombie outbreak, and how do we live in this world where it seems like nothing changed and nobody is trying to figure out zombies or any of
Yeah.
that. But if
So
it
you
was
think
really
it's super isolated,
if it was really only contained to that boat and everybody died except for her, then that explains
How did everybody die on that boat?
there was a fire.
Oh, obviously everybody didn't, because at the very end of this episode, there was she flashed into a memory, and it was the dude that scratched her killing somebody,
Yeah, uh-huh.
and definitely as a zombie,
Yeah.
and that would have been after the boat.
so some of these zombies are still roaming.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's probably.
But they're undercover.
And he's a full zombie.
Yeah, he's
But he
he's
just
freaking out now.
scratched her, and then she drowned.
yeah, she
They
scratched
pulled
her,
her
she
out of the
fell off.
water.
Assuming she drowned
seemingly?
because she spit out water when she got on
So
the
she
body.
wasn't killed by him. She was scratched by a zombie,
uh-huh.
and that's what makes her kind of a half quasi zombie.
I think so.
Okay.
I think she actually did die, but then came back as a zombie. I
Yeah.
think she's full on zombie, but just more
Okay.
with it than the other zombies.
Huh.
But yeah,
Because
so,
she didn't take the drugs.
so that's why I think that nothing in the world has really changed, because there's only very few zombies out there and only very few people know about them.
right, and the
Interesting.
zombies that are out there seem to be killing the people that they're
Yeah.
focusing. on.
Otherwise, to most of the world, this was just a crazy boat party that went wrong.
Yeah, just a fucking crazy boat massacre fire thing.
hmm
Cool. Should we do predictions?
Yeah. I'll go.
Good.
I've got that there's a scene in this finale where she's cooking brains with some sort of recipe. I don't know if she's making a brain pot pie or brain flatbread or brain tacos or something, but she's cooking brains enough that
She's
kind of
getting
looks good to the rest of
creative.
us. Yeah, they were just like, ooh, that looks pretty good. I can eat
Her
that.
brain ramen didn't look bad. It's just like maybe there was
It
like
looked
a
like
shrimp,
shrimp.
like a
Yeah.
shrimp ramen. Yeah.
I hope none
Absolutely.
Of you, I hope none of you put this as a prediction, and I didn't either. But you just made me think of like I hope there's like a Hannibal Lecter joke.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Some sort
I
of
hope she has
brain
some
eating reference.
Chianti. I hope she has some cup of noodles.
I said that she doesn't get cured and still gets married to that dude.
So she
Ooh,
married.
Major.
Wait, that's all one.
Yeah, because I mean,
So
there's
she gets
bits in
married,
that.
but as a zombie.
I think she gets married as a zombie. If whether that happens in this episode or not, I think like she gets married as a zombie. That's my prediction.
So he comes around.
Yeah, she's like, he's like, I love you anyway,
Nice.
zombie or not.
I mean,
That's a nice story.
she's essentially the same person.
That wouldn't happen
Yeah.
in real life.
It's just if you
She's
like
undead.
It's just like if you liked a paler version of the girl you were about to marry. You know.
Hmm.
He's like, man, I really don't like blondes.
Who's
though."
dead?
She's very goth. I have that. Oh, there's a part. This happened twice in the show because they just showed this scene twice where when she's waking up out of the body bag after like the boat party, she like coughs up water.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just very jarring to me both times it happened. So I think they go back to that and she coughs up water at some point.
Nice.
Because I think it's an effective moment. And then I think there's a Kristen Bell cameo because she cameoed at the end of was it Gossip Girl?
Okay. And
Because
this
she's
is the
the
same dude.
In?
It's not the same guy,
It's
but I
Rob-
think she just
Robin-
likes to cameo and things. So I
Rob
bet she shows
Thomas.
up in this.
I mean, I'd like to cameo too and get
Yeah,
that
I mean,
cash.
Yeah, right?
She ain't gonna turn that down.
Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? There's like $50,000 in it for
yeah,
you.
she's like, I'll hang.
I'm not fucking
Whatever.
busy.
You got sloths or
Yeah.
like what? What's the deal?
Jimmy?
She's really into sloths. My number one is I think Clive is being promoted.
Mm.
Like I think he's like making captain or something. He's like moved up the chain because he solved all these crimes.
Man, he's like new on the force, it seemed like in this first episode.
Yeah, he's
already
bottom
going
of
to
the
be.
totem.
Yeah,
captain?
he said something about you're razzing the new guy with
Yeah.
your zombie talk. Or not zombie, but psychic, whatever.
Sergeant Lieutenant.
I think Ravi is married. I think he gets like a, some sort of will they, won't they, plot line.
Like
And
with a character we haven't met yet.
with a character we haven't met. Maybe a zombie. Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Number 3, it's the CW, so there's gonna be some will they, won't they's. Number 3, Olivia gets the guy. And I think that's major.
Like her ex-fiance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because that's what's going on. But I think in this episode, it's clear she's getting the guy, like at the end of like in the sitcom when the girl found or whatever teen movie, because that's what this basically is to me. The number 4, I think they get rid of the comic stuff. I think they decided at some point that the comic stuff
I liked the
doesn't
comic
adding
stuff.
I love it. I was totally sold when
It's
they
kind of like bumpers between scenes. They do like a comic cell animation.
I watched
Yeah,
one
it's just a
episode of
transition.
NCIS the other day.
Mm-hmm.
It's not over yet, so we can't watch it on this podcast. But they do like a black and white. Like they switch to black and white,
Mm-hmm.
and then
that's
it's like
how
3 seconds of something that doesn't have anything to do with what's happening before or after that
Mm-hmm.
in black and white. Like somebody walks by and like throws a coffee cup away. It's like, what the fuck is that? And I mean, I only watched one episode, so maybe somehow those all combined together in one season to like, I don't know,
Make an entirely
solve
different
the- you
story.
solve the riddle.
yeah.
or
to
something.
choose your own adventure.
But man, if you're not watching that entire show, I watched it and I was like, this is jarring and weird and it makes no sense. But anyway,
excellent.
wait, so did you say anything if you think she gets cured or not? You didn't put it in your predictions, but I'm just wondering what
I
your
didn't
thought
put in a
is.
prediction. I think that she doesn't.
Okay. You think she just stays undead?
I think I think in this episode they do will they cure her and will they won't, and I think she stays undead.
Okay.
Did you say something, Joe, to that effect?
I said that she gets married while she's undead, but I would think also that she has a choice and doesn't get cured.
Oh, she makes the choice not to get cured.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, so my first one is that there is another zombie, but like her, like an evil mastermind zombie. Like there's like the evil one that's like her, that's smart and isn't like just a regular zombie kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so
yeah, she's got to have an arc
she's got
enemy.
She's got an arch nemesis person or whatever, and it's a smart zombie like her. I also think Utopia is in this episode.
The drug.
Yeah, the drug.
Drug's still making the rounds.
I think the drug is making the rounds still. I think there's a Brains hot dog in this episode.
Okay, Brains hot dog.
Mm-hmm.
Brain dog.
What do you mean by that? Is there going to be like a casing stuffed with brains? Is it going to be a hot dog that
I feel
just
like most
is like
real
a
life
coney
hot dogs
dog?
are
It's
just
got
I think
like 30% brains anyway.
it's like a Chicago dog. There's like a pickle on one side and brains on the other.
I think we'll know it when
Some
we see
relish.
Yeah.
it. If it's
All
a
right.
corn dog, I'm gonna fight to the death and get it. Some sort of dog
You think okay?
Brain-
A breaded brain dog. That's a lot of work.
might be good. And then I think Liv
try
dies.
Ooh, like actually dies because
Yep.
she's dead already.
She's undead.
so that doesn't count.
Right. But I think she ceases to be undead and then starts to be dead.
Do you think that she explodes?
No, God, I can't want that more, but I don't think she explodes.
True Blood style.
No, I think she dies. I think that's
Okay.
the end. I don't think she gets cured and is human again and lives. I think she dies.
Damn. So nobody thinks that she's cured or even lives past this. Yikes, sad show.
Yeah, sad ending confirmed. All right, let's dive into this finale. I forgot what it was called.
Finale.com.
The finale time. We'll see you after the finale of iZombie. Hello and welcome to the third and final portion of this podcast, brought to you by the beer that Jimmy made that I'm sipping.
You made it? I didn't know you made it.
I made it. Did you want to sip? Do you want it
Now, do you
sip
want it?
now?
No, I'm still drinking like the actual bourbon.
It's a different bourbon though.
It's different bourbons, Joe. We just finished the last episode of iZombie called All Is Well That Ends Well. All's Well That Ends Well.
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines.
Something about wells.
Jim, you got that one sentence right up for us?
Yeah. The human/zombie war finally comes to a head.
Yeah.
So it sounded. I gathered that the human/zombie war seemed to be settled.
Seemed to be coming to a head.
No, it seemed to be contained fully just in Seattle.
Yeah, because that's where like the main outbreak was, I guess.
Yeah.
It's where the main monkey was that Dustin Hoffman had to fight.
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. The big thing is that there's a war between the humans and zombies because they can't live in peace because the zombies trying to eat their brains. And there's like an evil French guy who runs some sort of militia who's trying.
But the militia's name is Fillmore Graves.
It's Fillmore Graves, yeah.
Oh, that's the name of the militia?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the name of their and
That's
the
stupid.
the human like militia against them
Mm-hmm.
was called the Dead Enders.
The Dead Enders. I like that.
It's better, yeah.
I
It's
like.
much better.
I'll be honest. I liked both of them a lot.
So Fillmore Graves, that's all of them are zombies? I mean, the main guy was definitely a zombie, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Frenchman?
he kept telling everybody like you're zombies, like be
Yeah.
brave, that kind of thing. The problem was the rule that I got kind of at the end of the first episode, or just from Liv, was like, oh, she's a zombie. You have blonde hair now. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Um,
Pale, blonde hair.
you look
Yeah.
deader,
Mhm.
and then there's a bunch of people that in this episode were zombies, and you're like, well, now I can't tell.
Yeah, they just look normal.
I like to. I mean, I'm sure you watched it and you go, "Oh, he's a zombie now."
Mhm.
But I like the idea of there's some sort of distinguishing feature. So then when someone walks on the screen, you go, oh, that's a zombie.
Right.
You know, most of the time it's
At
because
least
they're
to a
rotting
point.
Yeah.
and moaning.
Or if they look like they came from a My Chemical Romance video, probably a zombie.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't.
Got
There's
too
no
much
emo
eyeliner.
anymore because if you're emo, you're a
Ain't
zombie.
none of those zombie
Yeah.
kids had eyeliner on. And
Man.
that is a mistake.
That's being emo. Let's bring that back.
Yeah.
So there's a big war,
Why
but
not?
the thing that solves it is that Ravi has a cure.
Mm-hmm.
Because they figure if there's a
Right.
cure for zombiness, then they don't need to fight because
They were very specific about the fact that it was a very cheap, affordable cure.
yes, mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
So it's gonna be regularly available.
So it was rolled into your Medicare.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
I felt like there
so
was a
nothing
lot
that
of
would ever happen today.
I felt
Yeah,
like there was a lot
only
of
making
cultural
money.
overtones in this.
They'd totally be making bank off of that zombie cure.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of pharmaceutical, like big pharma like thing
Yeah.
going on in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did
there's
you
definitely
guys-
there's a whole industry around like preserving and like cooking and serving human brains. So like, you know, Big Brain doesn't want the cure either.
Right.
Big brain.
Yeah.
That's awful. Did you guys get it all? Speaking of like cultural ties, in the pilot, when Robbie was like, oh, you basically like can't come out to your family. Like what's that like? Like it felt like there was some overtones there.
Of like otherness. That's kind of an other.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this in what was that vampire show? Vampire show?
True Blood?
True Blood?
Yeah.
That it was
Okay,
about
yeah.
like some otherness there. I don't know. I didn't get it as much in this.
I didn't really catch on to that in the first episode, but I mean, I'm sure I can already
I
like
kind of whiff.
just even with the end of this, it's like I'm sure they're like they're tackling like oh, you're not like everybody else. How do you fit in?
Mm-hmm.
Pharmaceutical stuff like
Yeah.
like two completely different
There was a
like-
fake news joke in
Yeah.
this episode from Johnny Frost.
like zombies and humans like living together
Mhm.
kind of thing. It's just not possible without the cure.
Yeah.
Which really technically like nothing changes. You know, except you have the option to just become a zombie or stop being a zombie whenever you want.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that changes.
And they presented it in a
I
way
mean,
that
it's a
it
pretty
looks
big
like
deal to a zombie.
like you could be a zombie and still live a pretty normal life, except you just gotta eat brains, right?
Right. They even like mentioned like there's like a brain delivery service. Like
Mhm.
Yeah,
after
if you can pay for brains.
like they mentioned like after the cure was there, like
Mhm.
people like donated their brains when they died then.
Yeah.
Like normal people said like, "Oh, you know, these people need to eat, so I'll donate my brain to zombies."
Yeah,
so
that
they
seems
can
fine.
eat. So then everyone's happy and it's like,
I bet
why
the
is that on a-
government's trying to charge them bank for brains, you know, or whoever is like, you know, in control of the insulin.
big brain?
Big brain.
Big Brain's got a hand in this show for sure.
Right.
Big morticians.
Major is a zombie now.
Major is a person's name.
Commander Major.
Yeah. Major Lilyworth.
Major Lillywhite.
Lillywhite. Yeah.
Commander Major Lillywhite.
He's a zombie now. Liv is still a zombie.
Yeah, all of our friends here are just like fighting for peace, even if they're zombie or human still.
Well, I mean, Robbie's not a zombie,
Yeah.
and
Robbie.
Babanu.
Yeah, and they're just trying to like
They're not
Oh,
zombies,
Ravi.
yeah, they're trying to get the cure out there and try to end the war.
right?
Yeah.
Which I mean, maybe I'm just being like I'm like just being like a cynicist, like I'm a pessimist. I'm like, how does this cure end it? I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Well,
I
I
just
mean,
don't understand how it ends like zombies hating
Right.
not zombies.
I don't think
kinda
that's
thing.
necessarily cynicism, but it's like, again, if you're able to live a normal life as a zombie, like obviously a lot of people are just gonna be like, no, I'm a zombie. I'm not gonna like change just because there's a cure. I like
Right.
eating brains.
Or like
Leave me
it's-
alone.
Well, I mean, not even
Brains are actually pretty
I'm
good.
invincible.
You should
What are you
try
talking
it.
about? I can't die.
I mean, if the
That's a good point.
if the literal only thing that changes from being a zombie essentially is like your diet changes,
Yeah.
and you can live it without murder. Because, like, look, hey, cool. Some people are zombies, some people aren't.
Yeah.
It's still illegal to murder somebody.
Sure.
Either way, because we can still kill you if you're a zombie.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a brain shot instead of like anything else.
Yeah.
So, but
is it illegal to kill a zombie if they're undead for a human?
I think once
Do the zombies have rights?
I would.
I don't know.
I mean, I would think
I
once.
bet that iZombie goes there.
Maybe, yeah, probably. But like once, I just figure once a zombie can like walk and talk and be like, "Hey, what up?"
And
I'm
hold a steady job.
yeah, and like work and like
Contribute.
to society.
Mm-hmm.
Then therefore, yes, they do.
Mm.
And then it's kind
So
of
they're
like
the immigrants.
Well,
is
let
what
me
you're
introduce you to a little place called America.
Yeah, exactly.
right. So now is this show also like immigration? Like, you know, kind of, or,
It's all that stuff, man.
it's all of it.
It's all
yeah.
that stuff.
All of it's the same.
Yeah.
Like in a way.
Well,
Just
but-
fucking
yeah.
be nice to people, guys.
Yeah, like back to the point about like choosing to be a zombie. Like to that point, Liv and Major are still zombies at the end. There's a cure. It's available to them, and they're just like, nope, gonna be goth forever.
But here's the deal. Why I'm still
For
kind of
cute.
I feel like, hey, what's up? Be human. Be human till you're like 29
Mm-hmm.
and then get scratched.
Yeah,
Now you're on the fucking peak forever.
yeah.
There's still a little scratch. You can't have sex though, apparently.
I'm pretty sure Major and Liv are boning. I bet
Zombie bone.
I think zombies can bone.
Zombies can bone, but there isn't a human
I'm bet if-
/ zombie bone.
I'm assuming
scenario.
if a zombie bones a human, the human becomes a zombie.
Oh,
Hmm.
because fluid exchange.
Yeah, well, unless they have a zombie condom.
A,
A zondom.
Well, and also
You
if
beat me
they-
to it.
If they have a readily available cure, they can have like an anniversary weekend, get cured, do all they want, and then then get scratched again after that, and they're back to being zombies. Like, who cares? It's just
Yeah,
fluid.
you just gotta keep a zombie kid around just to
Yeah,
bring you back.
Keep a little zombie blood around and just like sip on that.
Also, I guess we need to talk about. God damn it. Also, I guess we need to talk about how this show obviously it happens a lot in zombie shows. It happened in what did we watch?
True Blood.
No, the other one
Oh,
from far back, episode 666.
oh, The Strain.
The Strain. Remember when it was like, "Hey, what's up? Zombies are here,"
show's
and then at the
great.
very end of the episode, they were like, "We need to blow up the whole world to save the world."
Yeah,
From vampires or whatever.
blow up all of New York.
And it got
Yeah.
like crazy. Like this show didn't do it to that extreme because it
Mhm.
seemed like it was still within Seattle, I
Still
guess.
a CW
But it
show.
it started with it was like a buddy cop procedural,
Yeah,
and then it turned into like we're fighting for equal
Yeah,
rights
zombie apocalypse.
via militia kind of
Mhm.
stuff. Like, I mean, I don't think. I mean, just based on like the predictions that we said, none of us thought that was gonna
No.
even happen at all. I really thought
No.
it was just gonna be like zombie NCIS
Full-on
for
war.
5 seasons. I really did.
Mhm. I
That
thought
would
they
be
might be fighting like an evil zombie, but it'd still be like pretty under.
Oh, I just assumed
wraps.
it was gonna be
Yeah.
like I'm an evil zombie, but I'm gonna like release a nuclear bomb unless I'm gonna eat your brains and remember you, and then I'm gonna figure it out.
Mhm.
Like like I thought it was just still gonna be within the normal world. And
Yeah.
for the most part, some of it seemed like they still like Walmarts and stuff or whatever. They were in a big store,
Yeah,
so people were still kind of doing normal stuff, but there was definitely some like weird Civil War shit going on.
yeah. It was just a little
Yeah.
bit post-apocalyptic.
Nailed it.
We'll edit that.
No one.
A little
Just edit a
dub-
"puh" in there
we'll
so
dub
it
that
gets
in.
the symbols right.
I'm trying to think if we had any other notes since the write-up was one sentence. They were on a plane for the first like half of the episode. Ravi and Clive and
Well, they mentioned
Liv.
so Liv was wearing a
a
wig.
human costume.
Yeah, human suit.
Well, because they
Like
mentioned at
MIB.
some point that they said like Liv Moore, also known as like Renegade or
Mhm.
something like that.
Oh,
So
a
she was-
funk.
She was definitely some sort of like zombie figure or something like that.
Mhm.
It sounded like they
Yeah.
made it sound like she was
a zombie celebrity.
she was like a
Zom-
zombie Gandhi
Zombie
kind of.
birdie.
Yeah.
She was trying to like say like try to get peace between the two
Mhm.
humans, the livers and the deaders.
Zombie
Zombie?
MLK.
Um,
Oh,
yeah, pretty much. MLK Jr.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
does that make French guy Enzo like zombie Malcolm X?
Zombie Mussolini, I think, is what he was.
Yeah, that's fair.
But so people knew who she was, but she's wearing her zombie costume, which was
Human
funny.
costume, which was
Her
like
human
a
costume.
normal person's sweater. Like as soon as she got off
Curly
that plane,
brunette wig.
like not only did she take off her wig and like rub all that like human makeup off, but she like put back on her hoodie and like Hot Topic t-shirt.
Yeah, she looked just like she did in the beginning of the pilot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
I think-
really confused me. I thought she'd been cured.
Yeah, I know. You were like, she got cured. You were so excited.
I was gonna make a prediction that was like she's still a zombie, but for some reason she looks normal. I'm glad I didn't.
You glad you didn't get a point?
Well, I don't think I would have gotten a point because she would have. Like I didn't mean a disguise. I meant like she just like has normal skin for no
They
reason.
just-
They just
yeah.
got tired of doing the makeup.
Oh, got it.
They just
I
didn't
made
have the budget anymore.
I made a note
They
saying
ran out.
I made a note saying the world is half falling apart. Because I was like, I feel like there's people running around with guns and shit.
Yeah,
And
just
if
killing people.
And if
on
I
the
lived
streets.
within 100 miles of this, I'd be flipping out right now.
Yeah.
But it seems like most people are like, yeah, that place is just weird. We don't go there. Of course, it was in the Pacific Northwest, too, because
Yeah, they're just like, ugh.
there's some...
Seattle's really gentrified by zombies.
Is that what it is?
It's just zombies and Amazon workers now.
They're really into craft beer. So they're on the plane. Then the one lady recognizes sitting next to Liv.
Oh, yeah, that's why I said she's like
And-
renegade. So she must have been a
Yeah,
figurehead.
right.
So she seems familiar.
So then she's freaking out. She's texting. She's green texting Clive.
I didn't understand what they were doing because he was like, they were trying to give her another mimosa to like give her a drug. And I was like, they're trying to like, kill this lady.
I think they were
Robbie
just trying to
was
put her to
trying
sleep.
Yeah, they were just trying to give her
drug
sleeping
the
drug.
lady
Mhm.
to put
But
her
it-
to sleep.
And so then,
Because
right,
you just carry that on you.
She was asking too many questions.
Right.
Those powders are allowed in your carry-on, by the way. It's like a good amount of powder.
It could have just been, like sleepy stuff for when people are on a plane.
it was just like 40
sure.
crushed up melatonin.
yeah,
You could
that's fine.
You
to
take
bring
that
on
on the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. And then Clive on the plane gets a thing. It's like wife is in labor. His wife, her name is Dale, apparently.
Dale.
That's really fun. I like that.
Which
It's
is
spelled like
straightforward.
Gale, but with a D.
Yeah.
Like DAIL.
Yeah, Dale.
Oh no, not at all like that.
Did you think Gale like the wind?
Dale
Jimmy?
Force Winds by Von Morrison. And so then they land and he like rushes back to, she refuses to push.
He literally sprints to the hospital.
He sprints miles and she's just been waiting, which is just not what you should do.
He
like-
could have called an Uber.
Yeah, they don't got Uber in zombie affected places.
Yeah, even still.
Get one of those scooters.
It's probably 10, 15 minutes just to get outside the airport.
They
let
were in
alone
a
to
house.
whatever
They were
hospital.
in a house. I guarantee there was at least a bike in there.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not like a teenager's
think he
bike,
biked?
too small for him. I mean, he was a jacked man and he looked great, but I doubt he can run faster than just biking.
True.
But he was not sweaty all when he arrived. He was
But yeah, his
pristine.
wife was holding all the pushes until he arrived.
Yeah.
That's
And
how it
then-
works.
And then they had
Yeah.
a baby. And that was that plot line.
When he got there, she was like, and then it just popped out. Baby just popped out.
It's just holding in a poop, basically. So then other character, Peyton, who pretty sure is the roommate from the pilot, she was with a bunch of kids and Major? Is that or no?
They had said that Liv adopted a bunch of
zombies.
kids. Are they zombie kids?
I think they were
I
zombie
think
kids.
they're zombie kids, but Peyton at the time I
No,
don't
they-
think was a
They
zombie.
definitely were zombie kids.
Mm-hmm.
And Peyton's not a zombie.
No, but Liv is hiding these zombie
They were
kids,
zombie kids
protecting
because
them.
they were talking about it because they were like, oh, there's a cure and that's awesome. And then one of the kids was like, yeah, but what about like Gus? Because if
What
Gus
about,
is
like,
terminal,
Lenny?
Gus is a
Like
terminal
he
zombie.
can't come back.
like Gus has like fucking like
Oh,
you're
like
gonna
Gus is sick.
like you're gonna die cancer.
Gotcha.
And if he becomes
He's
human
stage
again, he's
4
probably
zombie.
gonna die.
Wow.
If you're a certain point and you get the cure, you're just dead.
So, but that's another reason why people would want to stay zombie.
Well, I'm just assuming. I mean, I guess I don't know, and maybe
Yeah, 'cause you're too far.
Maybe they went through this, but
I think they did.
Becoming zombie is like life saving.
yeah, you don't die.
Yeah,
so you
except
shot
for
in
if
the head.
your body's like too fucked up to
But it
live
seems like
through
your
the
body
cure.
re-heals.
Well,
yeah,
like
that's the question. If
so-
you're terminal and you become a zombie and then you go back to being a human, do you go back to the state you were before you left? Because I keep thinking
I don't
about how
think
many
so.
times they all got shot when they were zombies.
Yeah,
that's
and I'm
the
like,
thing.
there's shit all up in you. Like
yeah, they're
Major,
not falling apart.
Major can't become a human again because he's got holes everywhere.
And that's what they did at the end. That's what Enzo, terrible British accent, like dude from like Chicago.
His name was Enzo?
That's what his character's name was.
Okay.
His name is actually John Emmett Tracy, and he cannot do a French accent, and nor should he, because
Well, you can't teach that.
Probably
I'm pretty
racist.
confident that French accent was on purpose. Most of this show is tongue-in-cheek.
yeah, okay, maybe.
They're called Fillmore Graves. he
Even
was the
still,
head
I don't
of
like. I hate
Fillmore
when
Graves.
people
He's
do.
a certified G.
What CW does this a lot
And you
though,
can't
where they
teach
do
that.
like Russians or French people, and it's just U.S. people doing shitty accents. How come the rest of the world can do great English
American
accents?
It's crazy, yeah.
But we cannot do a fucking Russian
Like
accent without
Carrie
being
Russell in The
super
Americans
racist.
doing a Russian accent. Remember that?
Yeah.
Gary Russell.
Anyway,
My name is
The bad.
Carrie Russell.
so they totally.
Carrie Russell.
I feel like they were addressing that with Enzo. Race had like the needle of shit, or like Major was gonna turn himself
Human.
human to like prove that there was a cure or something.
Yeah,
And then Enzo shot him up. But then Ravi had like switched it out because
He gave him like a placebo.
Mhm.
because had he done that while he was all shut up as a zombie,
He would've-
he'd be dead when he got the cure.
Yeah.
So he didn't. So then
Oh, I just thought he gave him a placebo because if he would have gotten the cure and then got all shot up, he would have died.
he would have also died.
Because he would have been
true.
a human,
Yeah.
and then he would have been shot 20 times.
Mhm.
That's
That
true.
kills humans.
That'll kill a human, yeah.
But now he's not. But that's the question: is like he got shot up and then he never got the cure. But if he gets the cure now at any point, is
So
he
I
okay?
don't think he can
or
get
can
the
he
cure now.
Can he not come back? It makes sense that he can't come back, but it also
If
it's
your
TV.
torso's blasted to bits, I don't think you can come back from that.
I mean,
so you think they keep that damage? They're just not dead?
Yeah, I think so.
well, like Ravi makes a
you
point in
keep
the
those
first
holes.
episode that her heart is still beating.
Yeah, but there's like no blood or something.
It's barely because
Sure.
he said it's like one. He's like it's like 1 beat per minute.
Mm-hmm.
He said that in like the first episode.
Yeah.
So it's like things are working,
maybe
but they're on slow
You get hit
mo.
in the heart.
Mm-hmm.
That's bad too.
It is possible then if that's the case, then over time, the body might heal itself as a zombie,
Mm-hmm.
and you might become better.
I
But
thought
that
Like, get
would-
over your cancer.
But if that would be the case, then the kid could become a human again. But
Okay,
you
so
need
here's a
you'd need to
question.
like shoot somebody and then make them turn like, oh hey, are you okay? Can we make you be human?
Mhm.
But because you had cancer,
You gotta get consent.
if you had cancer, became a human. I mean, sorry,
Wait,
you're a human.
what?
Sorry. Let me do it
People
again.
with cancer aren't humans, Josh.
No, they're terrible. No,
Jesus.
they're horrible monsters with awful voids in them. No, if you're a human,
Wow.
you get cancer and then you become a zombie, and then you're a zombie for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then turn them back to a human, and then like test them really quick. Like don't because like you didn't turn them into a zombie like 3 minutes before they were gonna die from their cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You just then test them. And you go, oh, you do still have X cancer.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, now we know. Like that's a that's a good test, right?
sure.
Hmm.
And maybe zombiness doesn't cure your cancer, but maybe it just retains your current body state.
And
So-
that's and that could be too.
So
Which is riddled with cancer.
yeah, so that would explain their thing with Gus, where like, oh yeah, you can't cure him because he's already like terminal.
Sure. I mean, who knows? They potentially talked about all of this at some point in the show, and
Yeah.
we are just
I'm sure
It's all
they did.
explained in the comic.
yeah, and
sure
we're
they
just
did.
figuring out which is
We're eventually gonna do the episode where we read the first and last comic.
that sounds kind of fun.
The only part that we didn't talk about was the random like weirdo mansion of bad guys and Blaine, who's like Spike from Buffy and his like little weird Igor guy, Don.
He even made like his
Don
Igor
E.
thing, like a master.
He made an Igor joke, and then Blaine was sitting on the well, and they found Peyton. She gets shot and inexplicably turns into a zombie, even though she just got shot. Did she get shot with a zombie bullet?
Who did?
Maybe.
Wait, what are you saying?
Peyton, who had like normal like brunette hair, I thought, then got shot, and the kids were like, "Nah, she was not moving." And then the next scene, she's talking to Blaine, and she's got rogue hair from, which is also Anna Paquin from True Blood. It all comes around.
She's having visions.
So then, and then Donnie's like, "You've had your first vision," and she's like, "Oh yeah, I just saw your boss murdering your fiance." So he goes out and pushes the dude down the well, and then Liv shows up with a rock.
He throws one rock at this guy, and he falls.
One rock. He falls in the well. He's dead forever.
Everything we've been talking about for like 20 minutes doesn't mean anything because she got shot and basically killed, got turned into a zombie, then got turned back into a human, and she's fine.
Yeah. So is it just Walking Dead rules now? If you die, you're a zombie?
So,
well, you can
then
get
you
shot
definitely
one
need a
time
cure.
and be okay as a human, right?
so it depends on where you get shot. I
Yeah.
can't
She
get
got shot like
one
in
time
the
in my
heart.
face.
It looked like. It looked like she got shot once, and she was like, flesh wound, and then it looked like she got shot just directly in the chest, like you're dead.
Dead chest.
The old dead chest.
But yeah, pretty anticlimactic for those two bad guys. I will say there's one like fun note that I read about one of the bad guys, that he was a zombie earlier in the show, and he was running a like underground brain like black market.
Blaine's Brains.
Yeah. No.
.com.
He was running it out of this butcher shop that was called Meat Cute. Like MEAT.
Dude, this whole show is tongue-in-cheek hilarious puns. I'm telling you right now. And actually, so we're probably going to talk about it in a second, but they did reference The Good Place / Kristen Bell.
Oh.
And I don't know if any of you have actually
Good
seen
call.
that show, but that show
Yes,
She's a
it's
zombie.
excellent.
is number one, very good.
Yeah.
Number two, full of food puns.
Yeah.
It's all food puns.
Oh.
It's one of those things where it's like they're walking around in somewhere and there's a sign for a food store, you know,
And it's a pun
and
for the food.
and it's like, watermelon you doing today? Like, you know, like that's the name of the show. I just made that up, by the way. So fuck you people trying to steal my fruit stand.
Spoiler for the end of The Good Place. They're all zombies.
Excellent.
Orange, you wanting some fruit today?
That's like just a shitty rip off.
Yeah, that
of
was
the
a-
knock
that
knock
was a
joke.
Like
good
the
one.
shops next to Bob's Burgers in the
beginning
Yes.
credits.
I wasted it on the
Which are
watermelon
always
joke.
excellent puns.
We need to wrap up.
I want
here
that show to
pretty quick.
end so we can do that.
But they had they went 10 years later. An
right.
explosion. So, they told the world that there was a cure. Everyone knows. Inexplicably, Liv is back in the morgue that they worked in, and some lady was like, "Hey, Liv, you're here. Have you watched the boom? Everything explodes." And then it goes 10 years, and then it goes 10 years in the
Supposed
future.
to think that she's dead.
So we think she's dead. It goes 10 years in the future. And then the Clive, Ravi, and Peyton are in a virtual reality talk show. And it's called America the Virtual. Dope name for a virtual reality show.
It's copywritten.
And I was like, I'm super into this. I can't wait for 10 years from now. I mean, unless we're all burning alive from global warming, it's real.
It's real.
If you're listening to this podcast,
It's real. If it's not real and you don't think it's real, you can turn it off. We don't need you here. But like,
you're gonna die. In a
recycle.
fiery ball
At
of
least
death.
try to recycle. Take a bus every once in a while, guys. But
I'm drinking out of a plastic straw right now.
no, you're not. None of us are.
2 plastic straws.
Stop it. Yeah. Come on. Get it right. I got 3 over here. That was fun. But they did that and they talked about it and they just were like, yeah, 10 years later, what's going on? What do you think? And that's when we found out that Liv and Major are both alive. They live on a place called Zombie Island with their all
zombie
those
adopted
their
kids.
zombie orphan kids.
Does that mean that they hunt like the most dangerous game on Zombie Island? Like, what is this?
Regular man.
They're still eating
they
brain,
hunt
right?
man. They gotta eat brain.
It's the most dangerous game.
Most dangerous game.
They
Regular
could probably
man.
just
Regular
Uber
old
Eats
dudes.
brain. They could probably bite squad brain.
Yeah.
Brain squad.
So that was pretty good. And so yeah, that was just kind of like the wrap up ending. So it ended up in a happy thing.
Mm-hmm.
Happy ending.
If I had a crew of
Kinda.
zombie friends, I think we'd call ourselves the Bite Squad.
Heck yeah.
And pretty good, right? So we got 2 questions to answer. Number 1, if this is a real thing and the show ended how it did, would you become a zombie or would you stay a person?
Like, just try to get bit.
I think I would hold out for as long as possible.
But like, do you want to hold out to your 55 and you're an old person then? Don't you
I
want
guess
some like
not.
gusto?
I mean, not right now. I mean, I feel like, 30s are in right now. But, what if 50s become in?
Mm-hmm.
Then you can get.
What if
you
50
can
is the new 30?
Then here's the deal.
We're living forever right
guys,
now.
guys,
People live to their like 175 right now.
that's not true. I'm gonna tell you.
Asians.
Oh, jeez. Joe, is that true?
Yep.
See? It's always been true for them.
I'm 90.
You don't look like a day under 27.
Most people, just not white people, live for a long time.
Here's the deal. I mean, if 50s become a big thing, and that I guess is cool, why not get scratched when you're 29, like I said,
Yeah.
become a zombie? It sounds like it's a very affordable cure.
Yeah.
You can get cured and then age out. It almost like, I mean, eventually after zombies become so like ubiquitous, you
Yeah.
know, like getting, if you were a zombie for 60, 50, 80, 150 years,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're like, you know what? I want to be human again. It's
Yeah.
almost like euthanasia at that point, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, we can't,
Take it out.
we
Yeah.
can't,
euthanasia.
we can't do that because like you'll die.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Interesting. The Catholics won't let you do it.
yeah, so this now becomes
Or the
like,
Baptists. I don't
this now
wanna
becomes like a pagan, like, not, like religious thing to become zombies, right?
I think my concern with becoming a zombie is that now you got to focus on eating brain. And it feels like that could get.
You got to do it or else you're going to become kind of a monster.
Yeah. And like.
the brain thing is the only
it-
real
brain,
rub, right?
I mean, it probably tastes good to a zombie, but just now your options are limited in terms of the meals you're going to make and consume. You're just always eating brain.
Yeah, your only protein's brain, really.
Yeah. That seems like it get boring.
Yeah, if you can't switch up your protein, that's like
I'd probably pick chorizo
That's rough.
if it was my only protein for the rest of my
really
life.
interesting.
Really?
Yeah, it's good.
Big chorizo.
I'm
Can't be good for you.
I'm initially going zombie with the knowledge that I know I can go human whenever I want and go back because I mean, as long as it stays affordable,
Yeah.
as long as it's Medicaid for all.
I don't know. I gotta say human just for the fact that if zombies don't sleep, like that's like my number 2 favorite activity.
Dude, I would.
At the end of the first episode, she slept.
She did sleep at the end
That's
of the episode.
right.
You just gotta
What
find
was
your
the
purpose.
deal about?
Yeah, right.
You gotta find your purpose.
That's what it was.
And then you can sleep.
Yeah, something like that.
You gotta have love's first true kiss,
Yeah.
Dude, I do
and
like.
then you can sleep.
I do like sleeping, and I get it. Sleeping is amazing, but if you could give me a shot and I would never sleep, ever, I'm fucking in.
Yeah.
I'm in. I would love it. Because all night long, like at night, I'm like, I just want to keep being awake.
Yeah.
I don't want to ever wake up. I want to die horribly in my sleep every night.
That's a good point.
But at night, I'm just like, I don't want to go to bed yet. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm never ready for bed.
The
But
only
but
thing-
I'm also never ready to get up.
The only thing sending you to bed is I'm going to feel terrible in the morning.
That really is.
Yeah.
It really is the only thing that I go to bed for. Is because I know because work is going to suck tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why I. So
Yeah.
so
Sure is.
if only for that, I would get scratched by a zombie.
Work's gonna suck tomorrow whether you go to sleep or not, Josh.
Yeah, I know, but is it gonna suck and I'm gonna be sleepy, or is it gonna suck and I'm gonna be awake?
Yeah.
I just feel like she always
Just
always
awake
looked
through all
sleepy.
the suck. It's completely alert.
You ever fallen
Awake?
asleep at your desk,
Does this suck?
like in any
know.
job ever, kind of thing?
Oh, for sure.
I don't know. I stand up, but
You
My
never fallen
intern-
asleep standing up?
My intern this summer said like we're having like an intern lunch with all the other interns in the other departments, and someone said we should do our highs and lows from the summer, which I think is kind of
Yes.
weird because it's like, talk about your low point.
Summer camp kids.
But my intern said his high was like taking a trip to Europe before he started his internship.
Mm-hmm.
And he said his low was like one time he fell asleep during a meeting.
At the internship.
Yeah,
he was in.
like a team meeting that we were having, he just full on fell asleep.
I mean, it's one of those things.
That's a low.
It's funny. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like it literally could happen to anybody. If it happens one time, it's kind of like, dude, that was fucking. you
Honestly,
fucked up.
I've been in some meetings where I was like, I fucking wish I was asleep right now. Like most meetings, actually.
I've definitely fallen
Terrible.
asleep at a job, not the current one I work at, but I've definitely been at a desk and been like, I think I got 2 hours of sleep last night. It's 2 p.m. and this is mind numbing, and I pretty sure I lost 20 minutes. Like, that kind of thing.
It's hilarious.
I
I had a couch in my office one time, and I definitely like had some time before like a thing and just laid down. But it was like I was like waiting for something to happen. I wasn't like necessarily on the clock kind of a situation. You're gonna put a couch in a dude's office, like
if there was a couch anywhere near my desk
gotta
at work
be some sleeping
right now,
on it, right?
I'd
It was
sleep too.
pretty
Naps.
comfortable.
I used to work with a dude who worked at
I think it was from Big Lots.
before he worked with me, he worked at a different bank. And there was like an old lady that worked at the bank, and I guess for her lunch period every day, it was like a 2-story bank, and upstairs there was like a big old like employee kind of like area. She would go upstairs and sleep on this couch every day for like 35 minutes or whatever.
Like after lunch?
Her like lunch was going and taking a nap
Okay,
like every day.
I guess
seems dope.
it's
And it
your
was just
time.
like, and it was like,
Yeah.
that's just what Marilyn does,
Mm-hmm.
That was my
Yeah.
old lady name I pulled out. That's what Eustace does.
Seems refreshing.
My old coworker walked in on like a maintenance guy asleep on a couch in his office, and he like
On the
woke up
couch.
and acted like it didn't happen and just walked out.
Hey, rule number. Hey,
Pretty sure he did that.
Rule number
actually
one,
often.
listeners.
It's the only time he got
if
caught.
you're somewhere you're not supposed to be, always act like you are. And 99% of the time, no one will call you on it.
Yeah, he could have like sat up and then like checked a light bulb on his way out or something.
Yeah,
Pretended
something.
like he was
Emptied out the trash.
in there for a reason.
As long as you act like you're supposed to be or are supposed to be doing what you are doing and being right at that moment, people are gonna be like, all right, just let you go, because nobody wants confrontation. Like, it's
That's
crazy.
true.
You guys watching this show?
Predicles? Oh, maybe.
No,
I'm into it. I'm into this. I think I'm into this.
it's not spooky enough for me.
It's not spooky. No, it's not
Yeah,
spooky
maybe
at all.
next month.
We're easing our way into spooky month.
Okay.
At some point, we need to do Power Rangers this month.
Is it a spooky Rangers?
Space is creepy.
Yeah.
I think the next one's called like Galaxy Force or something. I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
Is this the one
Space
with the
Force?
space dog?
Oh God, I hope there's a
Power
space dog
Rangers
in it.
Space Force.
Man,
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yikes.
I might watch some of this. Check
Starring
in
Donald.
next week and see if I've been watching some iZombie.
iZombs.
I'm into it. Let's get these predicles done.
Hang on. Why is it iZombie?
Oh, because
Still not sure.
well, she's
Millennial.
an Apple product.
She's a millennial
just
zombie. Is
yeah.
that it? Okay.
She was definitely blue texting Ravi.
I mean, it's called iZombie because it was based off a comic book with the same name. I mean, why is the comic? We have to go back to ask why the comic book was named iZombie.
Yeah.
So
Not sure.
I don't know. Who knows? It's just. I mean, it's I. It's that I make I whatever.
I think
I
it's just
robot.
a
iZombie. I.
Trying to get people to.
Yeah. No, I think that's right. I think it's she's a millennial zombie. I think that covers it.
All right, I'm fine with that. She's millennial. I mean, the actress herself is millennial as well.
Yeah.
Born in '88, I believe.
Oh, tight.
Young lady. So Joe,
What
I
was
think,
a
I think you're up.
DC comic?
I had. She's cooking brains, which I was disappointed there wasn't like a brain cooking scene.
No,
Get some recipes.
the Blaine's brains and Peyton were eating brains,
Yeah.
but there was no cooking of
Mhm.
brains.
I have that she doesn't get cured and marries. Are they married at the end? They're together.
I don't know. I'll give you a half a point there.
All right, half.
Are they allowed to marry?
Oh,
You know what state? What state is this?
Only in Vermont are
It's not
zombies
the
allowed
s-
to get
it's
married.
not the South.
Oh my
It could have been
gosh.
Vermont. They were like on a lake.
It was
nice
Washington.
mansion.
Washington's pretty.
They were on
progressive.
Zombie
Oh, that's
Island.
right. They were in like the Puget Sound.
Yeah. I said that she coughs up water, which we didn't have.
I didn't see that.
Aw,
Yeah.
That's too bad.
And I have a Kristen Bell cameo,
I'll give you half a point
Yeah.
for
which
that.
there was half a point
sure,
for
a half.
a Kristen
That was
Bell
a good
reference.
call.
when she was texting and saying, "This lady thinks I'm on the good place."
That was
She
fun.
thinks I'm
She's
Kristen
Googling
Bell.
That was
the good
funny.
place.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. One, because I like the good place, and two, because I was like, "Fuck you, Joe." That was
Yeah, that was a great call.
so 1 point in total.
Yeah.
Right.
1 total point.
Cool. I think there's another zombie evil mastermind. I believe there was probably more than one of them. There was Blaine, and then there was the
Yeah.
French guy at least.
Yeah, there was all kinds of arch enemies. I feel
I'm
like.
taking a point for that. Utopia is in this episode. I did not catch that drug anywhere, unfortunately.
It
No,
doesn't
no
seem like
drugs.
they need it.
Not anymore, but they probably.
They're just spreading it through their
Yeah.
own bloodstreams now.
Yeah. I think there was a brain hot dog. I did not see one.
No.
And then Liv dies.
I could not conclusively determine if there's any brains in hot dogs. I did some
Oh,
real
yeah.
research.
Just in general.
It's definitely skin and lips and other parts, but didn't really say if there's brains
whatever
or not.
lines on the.
Maybe the
lies on
brains
the
are removed
floor.
before they do the trimmings part. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably chop the heads off, and then like the rest of the stuff goes into.
Yeah. I mean, there's still like snout and stuff, so who knows?
Oh, that's true.
I know I'm not going to get this, but I'm going to try. My last one was Liv dies. She obviously did not die, but
No.
everybody thought she was dead. Half a point.
Yeah, except that.
All right. fine.
No, they didn't. The three main characters knew she was alive. They pretended that she was dead because
But
she's
the-
on the lam. That's
wor-
not what you.
the world thought
Your
she was
whole.
All right. I
The
got
prediction wasn't she's on the lam.
1 point. I'll take one. 1 point.
You son of a bitch.
I tried.
It was
I gotta try.
close
You gotta try.
though.
You
They
gotta try.
roped it back in at the last.
They tricked me. I thought she was dead. I was so happy.
They really did. The whole 10 years later thing kind of screwed you over.
Did.
I don't know if I enjoy when shows did that. We watched a show recently that did that. What was that?
Dexter.
Well, okay. No, there was a show that like leapt into the obvious future. Was it like
Was it Chuck?
No.
it was last season 4. Tweet at us if you know what the hell I'm trying to talk about.
Was that at the end of the season?
I'd have to watch through our. Yeah, it was in the finale.
No, I don't remember which one you're talking about.
Was it Chuck? Might have been Chuck.
I think
it was Chuck.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
It totally
it was season
Chuck.
5. It was 2 episodes ago.
That was only 2 episodes ago.
It was the beginning of season 5.
My lord, that was this season. Okay, my prediction number 1 was that Clive makes captain, and he totally did in
That's
the 10
insane.
years.
The 10 years later did you good.
Like all cops make captain if you're there for
Yeah,
10
right?
years, man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but we didn't need a 10 years later. We needed
Nah,
live.
but we got
needed
one.
to live to die
But
in
we
the present.
got one.
All right.
Number 2, I said Ravi is married. Don't think that was true. Didn't seem to have any ladies in his life.
No, I mean it's inconclusive. I was trying to figure out whether or not there was some sexy stuff going on with him and Peyton.
Ooh.
But I mean, like, I didn't see.
Didn't seem.
I couldn't figure.
Seen that she
based on what we
reciprocated
saw
him
only. I don't have a clue, and I didn't look it up, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't know.
Maybe there was some will they won't they. Clive definitely made out good on whatever relationship stuff was going on.
Yeah, he did all right for himself.
Then I said Olivia gets the guy, and she was with Major at the end.
Yep. They're on
So
Zombie
that's
Island
fun.
together.
Then I said they got rid of the comic stuff.
No.
Soup's wrong.
And I'm glad you were wrong.
I am too, but
I'm glad you were wrong.
No, because I liked the comic stuff. I thought it was cool, and I'm glad they kept
just
with
makes it. Yeah, just it. Yeah, I am glad. I just did not anticipate it because I feel like
It can't cost that much money. Look, it's not.
Well, yeah.
Once
What do
it- once he-
animators make?
Once you did it, once it's
A
like
dollar.
you could hire some teenager to do that shit.
Dollar per
2019.
drawing. Sad. I'm so sorry,
It is.
animators.
This is a
You get
very
a
long
bum
episode.
rap.
Thank you.
Already?
2 points.
Good
The
job, Jimmy.
end.
2 points. Winner of this episode, Jimmy. We'll see if you
Welcome.
continue to be the winner, defending champ.
Hey.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week on another episode of First and Last. If you want to make show, I've never been able to say this correctly. Show suggestions. You can tweet us at FNL Podcast or Gmail at FNL Podcast. FANDL.
Yeah.
Not an ampersand.
No.
I don't know if those can be in email.
It
names.
does help if you're searching for us on Spotify or wherever you're listening to us to search
confusing.
with an ampersand.
It's confusing because we use the ampersand in the actual
Right.
in
But
the,
not in our handles.
no, the handles are and
They
the
understand.
word.
The kids get it.
You can figure it out. Do that stuff. Hit us up. Tell us nice things. Do some show suggestions, if you will. And if
Spooky
you're
shows.
feeling bored and you want to do a write up or just hit a number of stars, that would be great.
Arbitrarily.
We don't care.
Smack them.
Smack a star too.
Smang them good. Thank you very much. We will see you next week on another episode of First and Last. It's late. I gotta go to bed. And or drink more of Jimmy's beer. Who knows which one will happen.
I thought you don't go to sleep.
I don't want to, but I'm not a zombie yet, Jimmy. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.